Today on Combustion Chamber, we get to live that James Bond life with this beautiful 2007 Aston Martin DB9. Let's get after it. Welcome back to Combustion Chamber. On today's episode, we get to check out Rob Bursch's beautiful 2007 Aston Martin DB9. In 2007, this car represented massive leaps forward in design and engineering for the company, yet it retains its beautiful elegance, perfect for our favorite spy. Let's talk to Rob for more about this beautiful Aston. First, I want to thank you for being on the show today and bringing this beautiful car out for us.
Thank you. It's a beautiful day. I'm glad to be here with you.
Now, this car is really nice. What made you want to get an Aston Martin DB9?
Well, I've always been a huge fan of American muscle cars. I've had Challengers and Trans Ams and Thunderbirds, but I've always also been a fan of the British cars. I love the look, I love the style. I guess added to that, I've also been a fan of James Bond my whole life. Back in November of 2015, I had just taken my wife to see the most recent James Bond movie. And we walked out of the theater and I said to my wife, I'm tired of dreaming about owning an Aston Martin. I want to go out and get one. So it took me about a year to find the right car, but here it is, and I just love it. When this car was brand new, the price on it was $181,000. But 10 years later, these cars have really come down, and you can pick one up for somewhere between 25 and 30% of the original purchase price. Someone like myself that wants a car like this, that can't afford it the first time, can just wait for it to get a little older and let the original owner take the depreciation on the car. Even though the car is 10 years old, the maintenance of standard items like oil changes and air filters is essentially the same as a new Aston Martin. To bring the car to the dealer is about $1,500 to get the oil changed. If you want to replace the air filters, you're looking at probably another $500. Right after I purchased the car, I had to replace the oil and filter, the air filters, the hood struts, the door struts, change out the brakes, clean the throttle bodies. A lot of stuff that if I had taken it to the dealer would have been very, very expensive.
Technology has changed a lot since 2007. How does this car hold up from a performance standpoint with handling and power?
You're absolutely right. Technology does change, but this car has held up really well. And I think the fact that it is such an expensive car, even back in 2007, it has a lot of features that they didn't have on domestic cars in 2007. It's got satellite navigation, heated seats, power fold mirrors, HomeLink. So it has a lot of the stuff that you would probably have on today's cars, but it had 10 years ago. This car has 450 horsepower, 420 pound-feet of torque. So it's about a 4,000 pound car, so if you stomp on it, it goes. Of course, I get 11 to 13 miles a gallon as a result, but I don't think anyone buys one of these cars for the mileage.
Now, for the most serious question, how many times do you pretend to be James Bond while you're driving this car?
Funny you should ask. A couple times a month I usher at my church, and when I do that I have to wear a suit and I have to leave before my family gets there, and I typically take the DB9. So when I leave church and I walk back to the car and I've got my suit on, I've got my dark glasses on, I definitely feel like a secret agent.
They made a lot of innovations in 07. They pushed the engine back a little bit because their goal was 50-50
right.
Front and back, yeah. And I know that they've changed the heads, the cams, some of the computer controls. They did quite a lot to the car in 07. Driving this DB9 was fantastic, and we want to thank Rob for bringing it out for us today. Did you know that DB stands for David Brown, owner of Aston Martin from 1947 to 1972? Also, a little trivia question for you. There's a DB7, a DB9, but no DB8. Why is that? Let us know in the comments section below. And also, let us know what you thought about this beautiful DB9. If you liked this episode, give it a thumbs up, share with your friends, and for more Combustion Chamber, hit that subscribe button. We hope you enjoyed this episode of Combustion Chamber. We want to continue to tell your story, so if you want to help us out, check us out on our Patreon page. The link for that is below, as well as links to our social media, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter.